Last time on the Sinnoh region lock, our hero Hiroshi blasted through every challenge, whether it be gym leaders, rivals, or the sinister Team Galactic, picking up incredibly valuable allies on his way. Let's see if he can become the champion, this time on the Sinnoh region lock. If we were to pick up right from where we left off, nothing much would be happening. However, if we skip past that, we will see that Rihanna ended up evolving into a Lucario, massive. Didn't even have her in a single battle before this happened. You'll love to see it. Immediately after this, we are faced with, I think what is his name? Saturn? This fucking loser. Nobody cares about this guy. He is the most bummy Team Galactic commander, and he goes out like a bitch as always. That's fucked up. His Golbat is taken down immediately by Mud, and then he sends out his Toxicroak. Although it does a lot more damage than I would have liked, is pretty easily handled by Mariana. Then he sends out his Bronzor, and I send in Scald Infernape, the GOAT. And of course, Scald hits a couple Flame Wheels. It hits a Rock Tomb off, but that doesn't really matter. Well, it gets 2 Rock Tombs off, but it still doesn't matter, as it does no damage, because why do you have a Bronzor this late in the game? It's like level 40. After losing like a bitch, he starts yapping about how Galactic will get what it wants anyway, and it showed like you can never stop us, before snitching on his pal that they're at Lake Verity, and it's like, oh my, why did you even do that, bro? Now I'm gonna go slime out your buddy at Lake Verity. So I take my ass over to Lake Verity and slime out his buddy. It's fucking Mars, and the match goes pretty similar to the first time because they have the exact same Pokemon, except the last Pokemon, Perugly, does a lot of damage to Scald Infernape, like way too much damage. In fact, that last slash, I genuinely could have lost Scald Infernape if it was a crit. I know you're like, but that's if it was, but like slash has a high crit chance. I dead could have lost my boy right there. I should have been more careful, but you know, we move. She starts yapping about willpower and, you know, how they're going to catch Mesprit as Zelf and Uxie and all that, and how they're going to go to the next fucking lake and shit, and we got to go there. Oh my days, oh my gosh. On the way over there, I catch a Snover, and I dead cannot remember what I named her. She never gets used anyway, so who fucking cares? Kenji's going on a power trip or something, thinking he's finally made something of himself, because he got, what is it, the 7th gym badge before me? But, you know, we're going to find him and beat his ass and beat him down and make him remember that he's a bum. You're probably seeing footage in the background right now of me grinding up Rihanna. And you're probably thinking, Digger, why are you grinding Rihanna to level 44? Couldn't you just use Scald? Well, let me tell you something. Scald Infernape is level 45. And if you know, that's a big no-no. You gotta understand why, right? Well, I haven't really talked about the rules in a long time, but basically the rules state that I can't be a higher level than the gym leader's ace. The gym leader's ace is level 44. I have to leave Scald behind for the ice gym. Not a great look. That's why we're bringing Rihanna, because, you know, she can put up numbers. Alright, here we are back at the whiteboard, so let me explain the game plan. Basically, we're having Rihanna out front, hitting Sneasel with an Aura Sphere. Boom, bam, boom, 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 boom. Sneasel goes down immediately. Then, when Piloswine comes out, Piloswine is a ground type, so if I go for an Aura Sphere, there's no guarantee it'll kill, and they could hit me with a ground type move. So that is why we are going for close combat on Piloswine, right? A CC will lower my Spadef, and I am trying to take a Psychic at the end, but I think a CC lowering my Spadef is worth less than if I were to just take a ground type move, Aura Sphere doesn't kill, and then I just fucking die. Then Big Man Abomasnow comes out, and you may be thinking, okay, Big Man Abomasnow, you hit him with an Aura Sphere. I'm going for full CC. We're going double CC. Yes, we're going -2 on Spadef, going into a Frostlass with Psychic, okay? It's not that big a deal. I know the Hail is going to start doing some chip, but it's fine, okay? Then Frostlass comes out. With Frostlass out in the field with, you know, what is it? Fucking Snow Cloak and maybe setting up a double team, it's not going to be looking so good. Candace is going to know this. She's going to set up a double team, you know, the animation. And while she's setting up a double team, guess what I'm going to do? You see, you may have noticed a move I kept on Lucario this entire time. Well, not, okay, let me stop de-pokenizing them. Rihanna. A move I put on Rihanna is, like, not put on, but I never removed from her. That move is Foresight. Boom, 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 boom. I Foresight the Frostlass. And then hit her with one big Aura Sphere. And I might be thinking, this is assuming a lot. First of all, assuming you're going to be able to get the Aura Sphere off after you hit the Foresight or whatever. True. There's a good chance I hit Foresight and then Rihanna immediately dies to like Shadow Ball or Psychic or something. But that's just a chance we're going to have to take. I have no other plans. If Rihanna dies here, I switch into Mud and I press Crunch, and that's it. I can't just raw switch into Mud because then he'll die. There's also the problem with Snow Cloak and Double Team and all that, and he might even just miss Crunch. So this is my best bet, and it's what we're going with. The battle begins and goes entirely according to plan. Even though I didn't expect the Aerial Ace, the Aura Sphere comes off, and Rihanna gets those 3 KOs back to back to back with Aura Sphere, close combat, and then another close combat into a Bomb of Snow. Even though she's down -2 SPDEF, it should still be fine. As Frostlass comes out, I get the Foresight off. As predicted, she goes for Double Team, expecting a switch. And she takes a Psychic, eats it with ease. And Aura Sphere comes out, securing us the victory. Maybe I'm over-exaggerating when I say eats it with ease. That was a very close call. Probably the closest gym battle ever, considering there was a very real chance. I don't know how Foresight works. So there is a very real chance that Foresight wears off as soon as the Mon that used it dies, and I wouldn't be able to utilize Mud to, you know, even land a Crunch so that I could win in any way, shape, or form. It could have been really bad, but we pulled through and got that big W. I slap HM Rock Climb on Ploof Bidoof and make my way up the mountain, only to see my eternal rival Kenji has lost. He's over here whining in the snow while what's-her-name, Jupiter, fucks off. And it's like, dude, you have a team that's damn near ready to beat the Elite Four. And you're out here losing to somebody who has 3 Pokemon, 2 of which are not fully evolved? He really needs to lock up or he's getting left behind, bro. After finding out my rival was a bum, I then went on to Storm Galactic Base with Looker instead of him because he was busy, I don't know, crying in a Pokemon Center or something. In Galactic Base, you know, I found a valuable item in TM Sludge Bomb, and you've probably noticed that while I'm fighting through these grunts, a certain Pokemon in my party is evolving. Not evolving, leveling up, jeepers. Serpentine Scorupi. I don't exactly remember when I caught him, but I do have the footage of me catching him in the Great Marsh, so it was sometime before this. Anyway, he's on the team now, I guess. He's not going to be very useful right now as we're walking in on the big Team Galactic speech, and we're going to have to fight Cyrus again. And Cyrus is, I think, he has what, 3, 4 Pokemon now? I think 2 of them are flying types. It's just not going to be a good matchup for my guy. Speaking of Cyrus, here he is, yippity yapping about all the mystical fairies he's captured that he's going to use to summon a deity to create himself a new universe or whatever. All kinds of just dumb shit. I have this fight in speed up for obvious reasons. Cyrus isn't really that big of a threat. His Sneasel will go down immediately, and Crobat will follow very soon after with a Thunder Fang. He gets a big Poison Fang off, but you know. And also I think it might kill, so I did have to switch here. But did I really? You know what I mean? Like, do I need to go into Mariana? Probably. He gets a full restore off, but it's not that big a deal. I don't know why I used Rain Dance. That was a really stupid idea. Just to start going for body slams? Buddy, use Surf. This was ridiculous, bro. What are you doing? Oh, Swift Run. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I went... But I go for a Rain Dance to set up Swift Swim to then use it for 1 turn on a Crunch. Was it even still raining? What am I doing? Aqua Jet the Crobat! Thank you. Jesus. Why do you even consider this? Okay, so this fight came down a lot more to the... What are you doing? This fight came down way further to the wire than I thought it did, bro. Holy fuck. What was I doing in this fucking fight, bro? Okay, see, this is fine. All this Aura Sphere shit is fine. This was, like, terrible. Imagine if that Honchkrow had Sucker Punch, bro. Life would have been so bad. Then again, I actually never use Rihanna, like, after this shit. Genuinely ever, so it's fine. Cyrus gives me a Master Ball, which obviously I'm going to use soon because Giratina is coming up, and why would I fight Giratina when I can just throw a Master Ball at it? I don't need it for anything else. I heal on my team, and then we have to go fight Saturn. Saturn, you worthless piece of shit. Yet another member of Team Bumactic wants to run my fade. Saturn's bitch ass leads Golbat and gets a Confuse Ray off on Mud, but who really cares? I'm going to keep trying to attack with Mud. Mud ends up hitting himself in confusion, takes a big poison fang, and then gets fucking poisoned, and then keeps doing this shit. So I have to switch out because he's a fucking loser. Odelia takes a poison fang, hits an aqua jet, and we're big, we're in business. When Bronzor comes out, I switch into Scald, who gets confused, and since my last confusion experience was terrible, I decide to switch into Mariana to take the extra sensory, then back into Scald and get confused yet again. Fucking Christ. So I switch back into Mariana to eat another extra sensory, and I decide, fuck it, Mud Bomb. But it's not heat proof, it's Levitate. So I switch back into Scald, and he eats an extra sensory for barely any damage, and I hit a Flame Wheel. Bronzor almost dies, but it lands a Confuse Ray, and I have to switch back out into Mariana to take another extra sensory, because she can really just eat these, and I hit it with Surf and it dies. Alright, massive. Toxicroak comes out, and I remember it's Dry Skin, probably, so I just hit it with Mud Bombs instead of Surfs, but it did a lot of fucking damage with Brick Break. Mariana is not physically defensive at all, so I bring Scald in, and he's even less physically defensive, and I don't know if he's faster, but he does end up being faster, and we take Saturn out without him getting any casualties off on us. This will allow us to release the Lake Guardians and follow Team Galactic all the way to Spear Pillar, where we have a silly little double battle with some goons, and then we have a much more serious double battle against Mars and Jupiter. Mars and Jupiter lead their double Bronzors, which really they're level 40. They're level 40. Okay, they set up a light screen and a reflect, and I start crunching the left one down while Barry does nothing of value. He just starts setting up a bunch of stockpiles for his Munchlax that is going to die soon. After 4 crunches, eventually Mud finally takes down one of the Bronzor, and Munchlax gets a body slam paralysis, which is pretty good. When Skuntank comes out, I decided that it would probably be best to send in Mariana, because Mariana is a ground type. She eats that big old poison jab, and the extra sensory doesn't do too much either, and I think it's the light screen that wore off, probably both of them honestly. A Mud Bomb does a bajillion damage, but berries and all that. I could just go for another Mud Bomb. Smoke screen comes out, but the Mud Bomb still hits, and it doesn't kill. Sadly, they get the light screen back up, and I decided to go for a Surf, knowing that it'll do some good damage to Munchlax, but it's higher accuracy than Mud Bomb, and if I went for another Mud Bomb, well, I'd probably get hoed. Besides, I already switched on to Golbat anyway, so it was actually in my best interest to go for Surf. With Golbat out, I got a little bit scared that I should probably switch into Mud because, electric type move, I could kill it faster, but I decided against such a thing and keep Mariana in and use Surf. Unbeknownst to me, Golbat knew Giga Drain and was fast as fuck, so Mariana got absolutely destroyed by it, but we'd be fine as long as Bronzor hit Munchlax with extra sensory. Okay, he hit Mariana. It is over. That was the GOAT. Okay. With Mariana down, I'm thinking to myself, damn, who the fuck am I gonna put out? I mean, it's not that hard to pick somebody to put out because most of my Pokemon are actually quite strong. It was just, the emotional weight of it all. That's my second death this run. I've only had 2. And Mariana's been here for a long time. She was the GOAT. I decided that, put another water type out, which is a really dumb decision. And I realized that, but I go with it anyway. Aqua jetting and taking the Golbat out. I need to stop doing this. And then another Aqua Jet to take out Skuntank, and Munchlax finally does take out that Bronzor. There are only 2 Pokemon left, that being Golbat and Purugly, and I decided that Scald can deal with Purugly pretty easily. Scald and Heracross are in here, and she should definitely switch to Golbat, but she doesn't. She goes for an Aerial Ace on Heracross and fucking dies. Golbat comes out, and I could stay in, but I could also just switch to Mud, which is what I do. Getting the Intimidate, the Air Cutter misses, and I just, get the Thunderfang off. GG's. That's the end of the battle with Commander Jupiter and Mars, and man, fucking, oh, Cyrus is gonna summon this fucking evil deity or whatever, but we don't fucking care, bro. The GOAT is dead. The GOAT's been here for so long, bro. Cyrus gets the summon off, and it's pretty cool. It does all this magical bullshit, and all the fucking shit happens. He gets the Lake Guardians, and he summons fucking Satan. And then Satan grabs him, and Cynthia's like, oh, we gotta go to the fucking dark dimension, the Shadow Realm, like it's Yu-Gi-Oh! In this bitch. But we can't do that. Not before we put Mariana in her trench. After that crushing loss, we go into the Distortion World, finally. and we meet Cyrus. He starts talking about DNA and how it works and how it's a strand of this and is on each side and this fucking helix and whatever. And then he says, do you understand where I'm going with this? And I'm like, Cyrus, are you about to put eugenics in a Pokemon game? I know I've played this game quite a few times, but I think the last time that I played it for a video, I actually already made that joke about how he's like Hitler or something, and he wants to like do eugenics, and I made that joke in a video. It was like his whole motivation for that one. But he's actually talking about 2 dimensions in space and time and all that stuff, which, like, if you start the analogy with DNA, I'm not gonna get that you're going there when you get there, bro. Like, I didn't even know it was gonna be an analogy. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even make sense, bro. I changed the FPS to unlimited because I'm up to unlimitedly beat Cyrus' ass. He leads Houndoom and I lead Scald because obviously we're gonna land a big Mach Punch immediately. We're going to take a flamethrower for it, and these full restores are just delaying the inevitable. But inevitably, he switches out into a resist, but I have something perfect for that resist. I get the Intimidate off on Mud, eat the Waterfall, and kill it instantly with a Thunder Fang. Now, he's got a little something for me too. It's a Weavile. But of course, I switch back out into Scald, eat the Fake Out, and just Mach Punch it, one-shotting instantly, 4 times super effective and all that. You might be noticing I have a Finneon that's getting constant XP from this fight. I just have it to surf, and I also for some reason still have Ploof Bidoof in my party, even though it's completely needless. It doesn't matter. Mud almost one-shots the Crobat, but doesn't, so I switch out into Odelia to get the Aqua Jet finisher, and then I'm pretty sure Houndoom comes back out, which Odelia will get another 2-shot right here because of the full restore again. And then Honchkrow comes out, and Odelia hits another Aqua Jet and takes a Drill Peck. I was concerned for Honchkrow having Pursuit, but I guess it didn't because, Rihanna came out. And this is pretty much the end of the fight. I took a little bit of time to wondering if Aura Sphere would even kill here, but I don't even think Rihanna is weak to flying at all because of Steel typing. So the debate was kind of worthless. I could just press whichever one I want, and eventually I do end up pressing Aura Sphere. Or actually Close Combat, fuck. Now that Cyrus's dream of having a galaxy or whatever is ended and defeated, he starts talking about some bullshit about what he's gonna do or whatever, and he's gonna destroy the world or something. I don't know, bro. It's like, if I catch Giratina, how am I gonna destroy the world, bro? I'm not even gonna use it. It's so fucking buns. Anyway, let's go catch Giratina. I walk up on Giratina, it says or whatever fuck ass cry it does, and then I immediately Master Ball it in the face because it's fucking Giratina. Like, what did you think was gonna happen? I was gonna fight it? No, dude, it's getting in the Pokeball. Hey, and we saved the world. What the fuck? This shit is so goofy. I take the time to name my Giratina Tina, and then I put it in the box for the rest of its life. Time to catch a real Pokemon. Instead of that bum, I went back to Pastoria and picked up Atoll Shellos, who will be our new Gastrodon. This is the first time in a playthrough I've used both pink and blue Gastrodon. Gamma also evolves, which, I mean, is probably not that big a deal considering we never use Bro at all. I cure Volkner from depression or something, and then I go pick up a Gibble from the cave near the cycling route. I didn't pick up anything there before, but yeah, I grab a Gibble and I name her Gianna. After raising my entire team to level 50 and picking up 2 Demon ground types, I head over to Volkner for what should probably be an easy clear. Hazebomass leads Jolteon, and I lead Gianna to rip and tear his entire squad. You may notice something about this moveset. I didn't know who to put the Earthquake TM on because I didn't know if I wanted to actually use Gianna, so I just ended up using her naturally learned Dig for this entire battle, which is pretty goofy. But obviously it's more than enough to take out a Jolteon off a level 50 Garchomp, so we will probably be destroying this entire gym with just Gianna. Next comes out Luxray, which I'm pretty sure knew Ice Fang, so it had me a little scared, which is why I decided to switch into Scald, who could easily tank a resisted Ice Fang just like that. I decided that Scald is probably clear to go and you just use Close Combat on Luxray right here to take it out. It's level 50 and Luxray is kind of a bum, and I was incorrect, as Luxray actually does survive the hit and lands a massive Thunder Fang on my boy Scald. Scald down to 18 HP. Volkner starts talking about I can match your toughness, this is the first time I've ever seen any dialogue like that for one of these gym leaders. It's funny because actually it was probably Candace because she got me super low as well. I land a Mach Punch and it does decent chip, which will then allow me to land another close combat to finish off this Luxray because he used a Hyper Potion, and thus it was back to full. Of course, I probably didn't need to narrate that part. I'm just saying shit. He then sends out his Ace Electivire, which has a really funny thing when it comes out of its Pokeball. What is that supposed to be, Volkner? What the fuck is that? I go out into Mud to utilize Intimidate on, I think actually, 2 of his Pokemon have been physical attackers now, which is pretty stupid for an electric gym. Like, really? Physical attackers in the electric gym? Anyway, Mud gets the Intimidate off, and then I switch into Gamma because he just used Quick Attack. And I'm pretty sure this Electivire probably knows. Well, he was using Quick Attack to kill what's-his-face, fucking Scald. I'm pretty sure this Electivire knew Fire Punch, and I think Gamma was a Bronzong with Heat Proof instead of Levitate, so I decided to make use of that here, which is pretty fucking stupid. But, you know, it seemed like a good idea at the time. I have Gamma set up a Future Sight while he eats another Fire Punch, which does minimal damage, really, not much. He's still in the green at this point. And these Fire Punches really aren't doing shit. I decide that Gamma can go back out to put Mud back in to receive another Intimidate on Electivire because I might as well cripple his attack stat entirely. See, look at that, even Mud is eating these Fire Punches. That's -2 Electivire right there, easy. I know he'll go for Fire Punch again, so I go into another Fire Punch resist in Atoll, able to absolutely chew on whatever is coming out next, which is, like I stated before, another Fire Punch. He takes the Future Sight, and it also does jack shit, really barely even chip, honestly. I decide that Mud Bomb is the best route to go as he goes for a Quick Attack, which does barely anything because, you know, it's Quick Attack and he's -2. So many Fire Punches, you'd think it was Tatsuki Fujimoto, my guy. Like, look at that. Immediate one-shot. Oh, baby. Atoll is showing that he can put in that pain as Volkner sends in Raichu, who is just an easy lick, bro. He's talking about some "this is it, my trump card," but we know it's like, we know the fucking Electivire was your trump card, my guy. It was level 50 and had a special ball animation and everything, you fucking dumbass. Just because it's your last Pokemon doesn't mean it's your ace. Atoll took a lot more than I would have liked from that Focus Blast, but I knew it wouldn't do that much damage a second time because it was a critical hit. So I keep Atoll in and use Mud Bomb. As the second Focus Blast comes out, it would seem I was right, and Focus Blast actually does barely any damage. However, I've now missed 2 Mud Bombs? Is it Mud Bomb? I've now missed 2 Mud Bombs in a row, and he's hit 3 Focus Blasts back to back to back, one of which was a crit. Mud Miss, my guy. Jesus Christ. I'm at fucking 12 HP, so obviously I'm going to switch Atoll out. I'm not trying to lose my fucking ground type to a Raichu that's throwing out Focus Blast. What the fuck? He uses a full restore when I send out Gianna, but honestly, it's not even that big a deal. One dig will take Raichu's bitch ass out, and Gianna can't even be hit during it, so it's fine. Volkner's Raichu goes down to the super effective dig, and Gianna gets paralyzed by static, but it doesn't matter because the fight's already over, earning us whatever fucking badge Volkner gives. I don't know the name of it. Hold on, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it as it comes on screen, guys. Oh my god. He starts fucking glazing me, but I don't even get what's the badge called, Volkner? The fucking beacon badge. What the fuck is that? That's not no fucking electric badge. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here, gang. After Barry said that tough ass shit, I knew there was only one option, to meet him at the top. So after I evolved Serpentine, which doesn't really matter because we don't use him at all at the Pokemon League, he's kind of a bum, I take my ass on over to the Pokemon League. Why are you asking about Victory Road? I never heard of Victory Road in my fucking... Why do people keep asking me about Victory Road? The reason he had this rant about Victory Road, if you do not get the joke that is being made here, it is simply a recurring joke that comes from back in the day when I used to do Pokemon challenges on this channel, be it one Pokemon challenges or Nuzlocke runs, where I would go through Victory Road, but since nothing interesting would really happen in there, I would simply skip past it, saying at the end, what is a Victory Road? It's just a little joke from the past. I take my ass up that waterfall, and I made it. I'm here at the Pokemon League. Oh my gosh. Yippee. I take a look at my team. I take a look at what they're doing. They've made it. And I also take a look at the fact that Caroline used to have Pokerus. She had COVID? That's crazy. Anyway. Kenji runs up on me yet again, deciding that this is the battle that will decide who gets to run the gauntlet of the Pokemon League and become the champion. But what Kenji doesn't know is he's a dumb bitch, and I trained my team to specifically fight the Elite Four and champion. I slimed the fuck out of his bum ass. Oh, okay, never mind, it fucking lived, but it did no damage because he's a bitch. I missed the Thunder Fang. God, Mud is a fraud. He U-turns out into Snorlax, and I switch into Gunjo Starly, who is now a Staraptor. Staraptor. It lands a close combat and does a bajillion damage. Holy fuck. That's a lot of damage. Hit an Aerial Ace on Heracross. I don't know why he put it probably has a rock type move, but he just died immediately. Staraptor comes back out, and I think to myself, I could just switch out here. There's no reason for me to stay in on Gunjo, because, like, think about it. If I stay in on Gunjo, there's a chance to get... No, I'm level 55. That was my actual real-time thought process. Rapidash comes out, and obviously I switch to a Toll. Who else am I going to switch to here? I let a Toll's out. He takes the Will-O-Wisp, but it doesn't matter because he's not a physical attacker anyway. He uses Bounce, which... What the fuck? Why does... What? I land the Surf, and it does a bajillion damage, and Rapidash fucking dies because it's an easy lick. Roserade comes out, but obviously I got something for that motherfucker, and I switch right back out into Scald. Yes, not Gunjo, Scald. I take the Giga Drain for no fucking damage, and then I hit a massive Flame Wheel. Level 55 and still don't got Flare Blitz. Empoleon comes out, and it's like, okay, listen, Kenji. I'm sorry, I'm like way faster, man. This close combat's about to do you in fucking sane, bro. And that's GG's. It's decided that I'm the one who can challenge the Pokemon League, and his team still needs raising, as he said. Darn it, you watched them. Okay, Teferi, what my way to the league? Jimmy's the best. You better lose anyone before me. Listen, bro, I'm not gonna lose to anyone before you because I'm not gonna lose to anyone at all, so let's get this shit. But before we even make it to the Pokemon League, we have to do one more very important thing, and that is the draft. Which 6 members of the team, which 6 members within the box will be making it through the Elite Four to face the champion? We're going to get to some interviews, and then we're going to find out when the draft happens, alright? Let's take the first interview right over here. Mr. Gunjo Starly, what makes you think that you are one of the best candidates to be put forward in your trainer's expedition into the Pokemon League? Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves now. Think. I know I'm a shoo-in. I'm the strongest, after all. It's just that they need me. Come on, there's a whole Bug-type Elite Four member, and I can take care of that bum-ass Gallade easily. Along with the Roserade, and having an immunity to Earthquakes coming off a Garchomp? Why wouldn't they bring me? I'm completely perfect. So, Scald, as your trainer's first Pokemon, are you entirely confident that you will be brought into the Pokemon League as one of your participating members? Well, he better bring me in. Oh, I can't do Goku, guys. I'm sorry, I can't do Goku. He better bring me, or he might end up in some trouble he can't get out of. And what does that mean, Scald? Are you congested? Your voice sounds a little strange. Don't worry about it. This is the worst Goku impression ever. Holy fuck. This shit is terrible. All I'm saying is, there's no way he'll leave me behind. But you're not good into many of the types that a lot of the trainers in the Elite Four has. He'll bring me anyway. There's no way he'd drop me. Even with a type disadvantage, I can always put in work. But aren't you concerned about being replaced by someone like, say, Rihanna? I mean, she did take over your role at Candace's gym. That's just because I didn't meet league qualifications. I was too strong. Atoll, as a ground type, which is quite useful, and a water type, which is also quite useful, do you think your position is as secured as it can be?
Yeah, honestly, man, I was just having a bang here. They picked me up in the middle of a city, and I was just like, oh my goodness, oh my days. I don't know what the hell is going on. Honestly, I think he's probably going to bring Gianna. I think a Garchomp is a lot stronger than Gastrodon. But if he decides to bring me, that's going to be a pretty good deal.
Now, I didn't really get any of that, but I think he's not confident in getting in. Why do you think he would bring Gianna over you?
Well, I just think having like a guard chop would be able to be like beat the other guard chop. Maybe it's a better ground type. It does a lot more damage. It's a lot faster. It's very strong. She's very strong. I was the one who found her in the cave. You know, we had a little battle. Then we put her in the Pokeball, and she was quite strong even as a Gimbal. So I think as a guard chop, she'd be very powerful. She beat that Raichu that was really putting the beats on me. So I think she could really like make it and get in there. You know what I'm saying?
So, Gianna, it would seem that both you and Atoll believe that you're the better ground type to bring into the upcoming matches against the Elite Four and the champion Cynthia. Do you have any comment on this, on why you both think such a thing is the case? Well, yeah, I think it's pretty obvious, honestly. If you look at it, I'm way faster, I do way more damage. I think the trainer has an Earthquake TM in his bag. So that could definitely be very helpful if you were to put it on me. I am a physical attacker after all. I have Dragon-type moves to deal with Cynthia's Garchomp. I think I could totally be way better than that bum Atoll. I don't think he's ever put in any work in any gym battle in his life, if I'm being completely honest with you. And if the trainer just brought me in, well then I think we could win it immediately, as soon as possible, honestly. If he could just bring me solo through that door and I would win it, honest. Mud, after some of the performances you've put up, do you think you're a clear shot to get into the league team? Listen, man, of course I'm a clear shot to get into the league team. I have been on this fucking journey for so long, man. I've been there since I think it was Route 203. I'm pretty sure that's where I'm from, man. I put that on 203. I'm getting in this fucking league, man. Like, he ain't going nowhere without me, man. Listen. Okay then, Mud, how do you feel about some of the other members in the box? Like, the other members that could possibly come in, this new generation per se, that could come in and steal it from under you. I promise you, I don't know not one of them motherfuckers that's in this box, man. Really? Yeah, man. All right, so you wouldn't mind if I listed some of them for you? I won't know a single one of them, man. Astolfo? I don't know who that is. Carl? I don't know who that is. Sneedy? I don't know who that is. The Flybird, also known as Charlie. Listen, man, if I had it my way, you know who that is, though, don't you? Charlie? Yeah. The HM Pokemon. Yeah, he's battling? Yeah. Nuke the whole box. If I had it my way, I'd drop an atomic bomb on this trainer's entire box one. Who the fuck are any of these people, man? I can't stand this shit. As the youngest member of your team, hatched by your trainer, like, more than halfway through the journey, like mid-journey, do you think the experience you've gained in that short amount of time will be able to put you over the edge and allow you to compete in the league? Or do you think you'll fall flat and be left behind for a more staple battler like, say, Scald? Or do you think you could get past Scald and be the staple here like you did over at Candace's gym?
Well, that is a good question. At Candace's gym, it was kind of more of a technicality because he was too strong. And he's not too strong now, but I don't know what advantages there would be in bringing me over him because, I mean, what could I do? I guess land a super effective hit on Spiritomb after a Foresight, but I don't actually know how strong that Spiritomb is and if I'd even get such a chance. I mean, I was lucky to even get that chance against the Frostlass all the way back in Snowpoint. Or was it Snowpoint? I don't really know town names, but something like that. I don't know if I'd be able to do that against this Spiritomb. It's the champions, and that's really the only thing he would probably bring me for out of the entire lineup. I feel like Scald is just so much more pressure that could be put on, I guess. I guess he just has a lot more combative experience.
You know, I think you could probably use your superior offensive capabilities to defeat even more opponents than Scald.
So I have better offense than Scald? Really? That's a thing?
I think you have, like 6 more attack points?
That is so minuscule. You know what? Just shut the fuck up. Six attack points. 6 hold. You know what? Get this fucking camera out of my face. There's just no way you said 6 attack points would be enough. You're so fucking stupid.
Oh, and it seems like the coach has decided and the draft will be starting right now. That's enough of the interviews. We can't show anymore as right now the draft is starting live. Coming to you right now. And here he comes. I've taken a long time considering a lot of these picks, thinking about what is best for my team, what is best for us to get through this league. And I have decided on my first overall pick
Scald. Honestly, I wasn't expecting anything else. Like, of course I'm the first overall pick. I'm the starter. I'm always going to be the first overall pick. I still can't do a Goku voice, guys. Second pick will be Gunjo Starly. I'm less than surprised if I'm being honest with you. Like, come on. Who else would he bring but me? Charlie? That bum? Nuke the whole generation. Third pick goes to Odelia. Wait, I got third pick and you guys didn't air my fucking interview? Fourth pick, Atoll.
I'm just as surprised as all of you are. I didn't even think I was gonna make it. I'm gonna be honest. Like, this is insane. I'm going to the fucking Pokemon League, guys. I fought in like one major battle. I fought in like one gym battle, and I'm going to the league now. I also fought that Kenji guy. Maybe he was important. I think I did pretty good. I think I do pretty good overall. That's being confirmed as I go to the league.
Fifth pick goes to Caroline. I don't think they tried to interview me. It's hard to teach again, though. You can't hear I talk. How am I talking? I can't even do fucking solos. And the final team member and the sixth pick for the Pokemon League Championship team. That spot goes to Mud. This shit means something to me, man. I cannot believe I was the sixth pick. Was that like the third catch? Pick number 6, motherfucker? This guy just like playing with my fucking emotions, man. I can't believe it. It felt like he was trying to say something, bro. It felt like he was trying to tell me to up my game or something. I know I damn near lost to a Crobat 1v1, man, but that's in the past. I promise you I get us through this, gang. I promise you I get us through this. I can guarantee I will get everybody I need to get, man. This shit means something to me, man. This shit really means something, man. And with all 6 members of the team selected, that is the end of the draft. We will be seeing you all in the Pokemon League. Strongest Pokemon trainers in the region? No biggie. The first one is Aaron. He's a pretty simple game plan. He leads Yanmega and I lead Gunjo. And when I say I lead Gunjo, I mean I'm pretty much only going to use Gunjo. We get that first Aerial Ace off, and although it doesn't kill immediately, he doesn't respond with anything super strong. He just goes for a double team and gets a speed boost. But that doesn't matter because next turn he's going to full restore, and double team doesn't affect, Aerial Ace at all. It's a 100% guaranteed chance to hit and will allow us to take down Yanmega with a higher roll than before, netting us the KO. Drapion comes out and I switch out into Atoll, who gets Ice Fanged and frozen. I try to keep Atoll out so that maybe he can put up some numbers on the board, but he stays frozen for a really long fucking time, so I just decided it'd be best to switch out into somebody who can actually deal with this. I go to Odelia and I use Waterfall as she finally has a strong physical water type move, allowing her to take down this Drapion with an Aqua Jet. It was a little close, but hey man, she's here for a reason. A Stone Edge hits for big damage on Gunjo, but he fucking ate that shit, honestly. And he absolutely destroys the Heracross, and he does the same to the Vespiquen, who does live and get a full restore, and it wasn't even a low roll this time, but it all worked out as he gets, 2 Aerial Aces, gets a KO. Iron Head on Scald, who fucking cares? Big damage, Scissor is done for, and that is Aaron down of the Elite Four. He was really nothing special. Next up, we're taking on Old Lady Bertha. She sends out Wishcash. I send out Caroline, and Caroline just gets to fucking work. Mollywop and her team, although I do have to switch out to Atoll so that he can land a Ice Beam real quick. He does eat a little Earthquake, but it's only a little Earthquake, honestly. It does jack shit. As the Sandstorm comes out, I also use Rain Dance to get rid of it, and then I switch back out into Caroline, utilizing Levitate to, dodge the Earthquake, and Grass Knot to take out the rest of Bertha's heavy-ass Pokemon, because, most ground types are part rock, and most rock types are very heavy. They all get taken down. It's an easy lick. She was probably the fastest one, and probably the fastest one in total. Speaking of fast in total, we are now dealing with Flint, the Fire-type Elite Four member, who is, he's kind of a bum. He looks like Ronald McFucking Donald. We know who's beating this ass. Odelia is going to beat that ass and his entire team with a quick Waterfall, and then another quick Waterfall. And you can probably imagine where this is going. Another quick Waterfall. And another quick Waterfall. And, a Flareon, another quick Waterfall. And that's beat that ass put on his entire team. Oh wow, how surprising could it have possibly been, bro? Odelia is high-key the water-type GOAT. The final and least memorable member of the Sinnoh Elite Four, Lucian, will be taken out by Mud. Mud is going to start with a crunch on Mr. Mime, taking him out. When Bronzong comes out, I realize that maybe Mud can't do it alone, so I go into Scald as Mr. Mime uses Calm Mind, and I hit it with a Flare Blitz, taking it out instantaneously. Easy licks. Espeon comes out, and I go back out into Mud for an Intimidate, although that doesn't matter, it's a special attacker, and I take it out with a Crunch because, you know, super effective damage, and I'm a physical attacker. I'm faster than Alakazam, and he's physically frail, so I kill him with another Crunch. And then as Gallade comes out, I switch into Gunjo Starly, eat the Leaf Blade because it does no fucking damage, and we just Aerial Ace him down. Elan's a big Stone Edge. Was that a crit? Damn, that shit hurt. It doesn't really matter, bro. We Aerial Aced him down. Jesus Christ. That shit looked like it hurt. Anyway, this has been really a fucking lightning round if I'm keeping it a stack with you. None of these guys have been that big of a challenge, but now we meet with Champion Cynthia. As she yips and yaps at me about the Distortion World or something, it doesn't really fucking matter. I lead Mud yet again, and we go in with a Thunderfang, trying to get a Paralysis or a Flinch, but we get neither. I Thunderfang again, and Spiritomb goes down. She obviously instantly switches into Garchomp, which allows me to switch into Caroline to get the Levitate off, which will then allow me to switch into Atoll to dodge the Flamethrower. Now that Atoll is out, he can start shooting Ice Beams. Earthquake does a little over half, and she has a Berry, but I don't know what to do. Should I sack Atoll? I brought him here for this express purpose. He gets hit by a Dragon Rush and dies. I had to let the Ice Beam fly and maybe hope that something would miss or she would make a wrong move, but it didn't happen. Scald comes out and returns fire with a close combat, and Milotic comes out. Now, obviously, the better option probably would have been Mud there, but I go out into Caroline and she dies for my carelessness as Mud gets out there and misses his fucking Thunderfang. Mud, I swear to God, he hits the second one, but he's on death's fucking door. I shouldn't have brought Mud. I hate this guy. I go into Gunjo on the Roserade and he eats the extra sensory and goes for an Aerial Ace, obviously taking out Roserade. Next out is Togekiss, and damn, that Brave Bird didn't do enough, and it knows Shockwave, leading to the death of Gunjo Starly. Mud comes back out to finish the job and doesn't miss this time as Lucario comes out and, well, we all know who has to finish this. I switch out into the one from the start, the partner, the OG, the man, the myth, the legend, no longer the strongest as he's level 62, and many of his peers have overtaken him. But this old dog still barks. He still swings. That extreme speed, it's gonna do maybe a chunk. Not enough. One close combat ends the Pokemon League in our victory. 3 members down, going for a total of 5 losses as the slow-ass health bar ticks down. Scald has won us the league championship and put us in the Hall of Fame. Now, you might be thinking, what did this run do for me? Did it help me appreciate the Pokemon that Sinnoh offered? Well, not really. It helped me a little bit to appreciate the Sinnoh games in general and Sinnoh as a region, as it's not that bad. It's got quite a nice diverse set of areas, and the gyms are well designed and the gym leaders are also well designed. The Elite Four is one of the lower ranking ones, I'd say. I don't really find them to be that memorable or even spectacular. The champion is, of course, one of the most memorable in Pokemon history, mostly to me just because of her room theme. Nothing else about her is actually that good, and I think people only remember her because Garchomp is a big scary Pokemon. She's never been that hard. I don't think I've ever lost to Cynthia in my life, other than that Munchlax solo run. That's it though. Wait, no, it wasn't the Munchlax, it was the fucking Elekid solo run where I lost to her. That one's not even up anymore, but whatever. Basically, she's lame. And everybody who glazes her is, you know, blind. It's blind fucking glaze. It's auto glazing, honestly. It's auto glazing. But the Pokemon that I brought with me on this journey are very stereotypical Sinnoh Pokemon. I don't think I had a single unique Mon on my final team. Like, really? A Luxray? A Gastrodon? A Carnivine? Actually, never mind. A Carnivine is an incredibly unique Pokemon to have on a final Elite Four team in Sinnoh. Nobody runs this shit. Despite the fact that it's one of the few grass types that actually came out of Sinnoh. Like, name me a grass type that came out of Sinnoh. You're gonna name Cherubi, and you're gonna name Carnivine, and I guess you could also name the starter Torterra, and that's really it. This is quite the lineup, quite a goofy looking lineup. The double water type is really the double whammy. It's gaseous. And this is quite the game. There is a reason why when I'm asked when I think Pokemon games actually became good, I tell people the 4th generation through the 5th generation, and then that's it. Honestly, I think 6 and onwards, actually, let me stop being a fucking dumbass. The good Pokemon games are 4, 5, 7, and that's it. Okay, a lot of people are going to be like, 7 and not 3? Shut the fuck up. Alright, the split that Gen 4 did between physical attack and special attack within moves, not just being dictated by typing, was probably one of the most important changes in Pokemon history and affects how the game is played like forever. And I think it was one thing that Pokemon really needed to actually become good. And every generation that was actually good after that change was made lands in the actually good Pokemon game category. I know saying that Pokemon games were not good until Generation 4 is a very controversial thing to say, as I know a lot of people blindly dick eat the fuck out of Gen 2, and a lot of people rightfully think that Gen 3 is very good, but I just don't see it until these changes were made. These are such important changes. You know what I'm saying? I think writing-wise, this game is not that high up. Well, I mean, when it comes to motivation of evil teams and writing there, I would actually say it's better than most. A lot more thought put into it than most. When it comes to things that the rival says and how he acts and how he progresses throughout the story, I'd say he also has a decent amount of thought put into him compared to someone like, say, I don't know, any rival from XY. Those guys suck. Or Brendan or May or Wally from, you know, the Gen 3 games. Gen 6 Wally's pretty good. You know, he's quite well written. I like him. I enjoy his progression. The game itself has a pretty good level of difficulty for a Pokemon game, especially when it comes to a Nuzlocke and things of that nature. I really like this game's level of difficulty. The progression in it is a little confusing. Not really confusing, but sometimes I didn't know where to go. You know what I mean? Like, I don't read. I don't read when I play Pokemon. So sometimes it was a little hard to figure out where I was supposed to go next. When it came to like the lakes and stuff, when we got to that point after it was like, hey, we're no longer walking in a straight line to each point for a gym battle. We're going to this place and this place and this place or whatever. And I was like, damn, I did not read the dialogue, fuck. But honestly, you'll figure it out eventually, especially if you've played this game like 5 times like I have. I've played this game too many times to not remember to go to Veilstone HQ. That shit is so stupid. If you didn't like the draft part, I just wanted to put a little more personality into the players that I was bringing into the Pokemon League, because come on, man, like, you don't want them to have any no sauce, no character, no nothing. Personally, when I play a Pokemon game or do a Nuzlocke, I like to put character into the Pokemon that I have, because I feel as though someone like me that plays a lot of Showdown or a lot of ROM hacks or just Nuzlocks in general tends to forget what Mons is about, you know? You forget what Mons is, and every time I try to inject some personality into Mons, helps me remember what Mons is in the first place. You know what I mean? It's why I had recently gone back to watch some of the Pokemon anime with Ash Ketchum in them, because, you know, that's what Mons is about, bro. Ash is what Mons is really about. He shows what you're supposed to feel when you play Mons, man. And I'm not talking about like competitive Mons, I mean just like the main games. Sometimes you gotta be able to make your own fun with these. Is that a fucking Magnezone in the credits? Good God. This shit is beautiful. What the fuck? Satoshi. I wasn't really watching this. This shit is beautiful. What the fuck? I'm sure the music is also wonderful here. The music in this game has been just fucking dandy, if I'm keeping it a stack with you. It's fucking adorable. You're riding your bike back to your house and you can go say hi to your mom. That's actually so sick. It's actually so sick, bro. I don't usually watch the credits when I play any Pokemon game, honestly. The credits are usually really cool in Pokemon games. Like, I know the fucking Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald credits. It doesn't fucking matter. Basically, if you fucked with the video, subscribe. I'm yapping. Essentially, sub up. I did it. It was a cool journey. It didn't really change my opinion on Sinnoh as a backpack region. I still feel that's what it is, especially with how few Sinnoh Pokemon I encountered throughout the journey. But, you know, it's also my personal fault for only using Pokemon that people commonly use in Sinnoh, simply because they're better than most of the other Sinnoh Pokemon. A lot of Sinnoh Pokemon are really fucking bad. Okay, even Carnivine, which I used, is really fucking bad. It's a terrible Pokemon. It is so shit. Anyway, see you next time, I guess.